Bow down before my psycho power.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I want to talk a little bit about the heat system and just some of what Harada was saying, and also comparing it to what is actually happening in Tekken 7, because this is the thing, right? The reaction to the heat system was very chaotic, loud. People were angry. People heard the words more aggression after dealing with a very aggressive Unga Bunga Tekken 7, and they lost it. If you see how people talk about Knee, and if you watch his gameplay, you can see that Knee is literally dominating everyone with his Fang, but also with spacing. Harada kind of doesn't like this. Not that Knee is winning, but he just doesn't like this whole spacing and backdashing and shuffling. Harada's at a point where he wants the action, he wants the intensity. Something that I always bring up on a live stream, even before the heat system was ever introduced, is the fact that the Korean backdash isn't a mechanic. The Korean backdash, by definition, is an exploit. Some wizard of the arcade era discovered that you were able to cancel your backdash into another backdash, and everyone loved it, and that's why it stayed for so long. But that ability to backdash faster than the developers intended has dominated and changed the way that we play Tekken forever. And in a lot of matches with Knee and people who have very good backdashing, it always comes down to the clock. The clock at the end of the day is what forces these two opponents to collide. So much backdashing, so much running, isn't at the end of the day, the clock forces someone to just wildly charge in, hoping for a miracle. I've seen it so many times over the course of Tekken 7. Anakin lost like 6 times because someone's just backdashing, jabbing, backdashing, jabbing. You can never chase someone down. And by the way, this is just me talking about what the backdash mechanic is doing at the highest level, right? Tekken Gamer, which is a big account on Twitter. This is Tekken at the highest level, but from it you can understand Harada's reasoning behind the new heat system coming with Tekken 8. Now this tweet got a lot of pushback. Everyone was like, understand, we don't understand it, we don't like it, we hate it, it's ruining the Tekken we know and love. And Tekken Gamer responds to this and says, seems some forgot what Harada said in his interview with IGN. Here's a refresher, we didn't say this, he did. And we simply said we understand when describing. Understanding doesn't mean disagreeing. All of these tournaments that's been going on, Harada has been watching the way that the pros has been playing, seeing how it's super defensive, super passive. I'm just gonna get the life lead and back up, and what are you gonna do now? The quote from Harada, this is pulled from the news article, says, this ties into aggressiveness as well. If you're looking into esports scene, the two people at the same kind of level, there might not be a lot of offense going on, because it's hard for both players to open up their opponent and not a whole lot happens. Now just that first sentence alone I think is kind of Tekken 7's own fault. Another reason why you can argue people aren't going for pokes or turnstiles, or they're not playing offense, is because it's so dangerous. How are you supposed to play offense when you have a character like Claudio with a godlike orbital that will crush anything? You cannot pressure Claudio at all. You are forced to play defense. You are forced to try and make him miss for the small chance of you being able to punish. The same goes for the DLC and so many characters. Lucky Chloe, you will never pressure Lucky Chloe because it's simply not what you do. We all saw the Pakistani player who got destroyed simply trying to play offense. Yes, Tekken 7 is very offensive and everyone attacks, but at a high level, you don't do that. You only really go for an attack if like you have a for sure read or if you're desperate. So you can't blame people for playing ultra defensively when you kind of have to. And this doesn't even factor into godlike characters with every single punish in the book. I mean, it's a reason why players play the way that they are, but also too, I think even if you go back to like Tekken Tag Tournament 2, Tekken 6, past games that had tournaments, you still had this same defensive play style. So I wouldn't put it all on balancing, but I do think a lot of it does revolve, like the balancing of Tekken 7 only made it worse. You will never play offensive against a Leroy Smith because he will parry everything and destroy you. And now you can see this in boxing and other martial arts as well. When two people are on the same skill level, there's not a lot of attacking going on. We wanted to make sure the game is entertaining to watch by motivating players to go on offensive and try to open up their opponents. Not just because it makes the game more enjoyable for them, but more entertaining experience for spectators too. Harada's been putting an emphasis on spectators, and this is crazy because here's the thing, the tournament like Evos and stuff really helped Tekken 7. I think like if tournaments didn't do so well, Tekken 7 wouldn't have sold nearly as many copies. Tournament has really carried Tekken 7 so much. I really believe that. And how Harada is literally defining the balance of Tekken 8 by what the spectators deem entertaining is kind of just a example of that. But here's the thing, right? Trying to change the flow of the match based on what people who don't know how to play Tekken think can be chaotic. Here's the thing, right? My opinion on Heat system, I think it will be something that everyone loves and appreciates down the road. I think a lot of it is just fear mongering, but at the same time too, there is this chance of it going wrong. Yes, you do want to make it more exciting for spectators. We see this done with the biggest sports on the planet, the NBA. They changed rules in the past that decreased the amount of fouls because fouls is boring. It does happen where like baseball even does it. Football, soccer even does. Like you do have moments where people will change a very specific rule or a very specific thing to increase spectator experience. And in those same instances, you do have the pros, the basketball players, the football players upset because yes, it's for the spectators, but it's hurting the competitors. So I don't know, I think this conversation is very interesting. There really isn't a wrong or right answer. It's really more so wait and see what happens because Harada already made up his mind. Tekken 8 is going to be built all around this heat mechanic. So when it comes out, that's going to be our moment to try it, to test it, and see if it's something that should be nerfed, buffed. Who knows? Your character may have the best heat mechanic in the game, and you may love it. Heat is going to be different for every character, for every player, and I'm kind of interested to see what actually it changes because he's talking about high level, but I'm not high level. So I'm wondering how will it affect my level, the online experience, right? But that's it. I just want to talk about this. I know this kind of conversation was kind of all over the place, but these are just my ideas about the heat system right now as we know it. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching and bye bye.